Hey everyone, Zach and Jules here, and we're so excited to be back with you for season 2 of Life After Prison, The Sit Down.
But before we start, we really need your help. Life after prison is nothing without you guys.
All of you listening to us, wherever you are the most important part of Life After Prison, and we need to hear from you.
And we want to know exactly what you think of the show.
Life After Prison is funded by the National Lottery. And for us to be able to secure more funding, keep the project going, we need to be able to prove to the lottery that you, the Life After Prison community, are loving exactly what we do.
And that you want us to keep Life After Prison going forever.
Forever?
Forever, ever.
Forever, ever. So we've made a small feedback form. It's totally anonymous. We'd be so grateful if as many of you as possible could please complete the form.
It will take you about 3 minutes to complete, and it will help us out so much.
You can find the link to the form in the podcast description or our Instagram bio and on our website, lifeafterprisonpod.com.
Again, thank you so much and enjoy the episode.
Yeah.
Zach, did you ever write letters in prison?
Loads. I used to write loads, but mainly like as a like in YO, young offenders used to write loads of letters. You know, you put some tunes on, you get into a different mode. Yeah.
Nice.
That was me. What about you?
That was a definite yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to write.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love letters.
Maybe a few.
Hello and welcome back to Life After Prison, The Sit Down with Zach and Jules.
So today we are joined by Lady Unchained, who found her passion for poetry whilst inside. So she's an author, a poet, a radio host, and loads more, but we're going to let her tell you that. So welcome, Lady Unchained.
Hello. It's good to be here, man.
Oh, it's good to
You
have
are
you.
looking amazing, obviously, as always.
And
As you too.
And the earrings.
It's just good to be in real life with you.
Feeling that jumper.
Come on, like
cold.
repping. My friend customized this.
I didn't even know this.
Customized by Chrissy and all of that.
Okay.
Big up her.
Yeah.
Love that.
So Lady Unchained, first things first, where did the name come from?
Oh my days. Wow. Okay. So let's go back. Let's go all the way back.
Please.
So Lady Unchained actually got given to me by then he wasn't my co-host yet, but Hillary, from National Prison Radio and Clinton, not to be mistaken by the president and but Hillary and Clinton were the people that were interviewing me, and I got invited into Broadcasting House, to do a show on National Prison Radio called Outside In, and it was all about mentors and like the importance of a mentor after prison. So, funny story, at this point, I was performing, but not performing properly. Like I didn't have the confidence yet to say that I'm an actual poet. So the plan was that they would play one of my poems into the edited version of the show, which was on SoundCloud. They can download it.
Okay.
And then straight after that, Hillary's gone, okay, and so you're going to be performing a poem for us. And I was like, huh? A poem? Like now? And he's like, yeah, you might as well perform it, you're here. So I performed a poem called Trap Queen. And after I performed, Hillary and Clinton just went, Unchained Poetry, Lady Unchained. And I was like, what did you say? What's that? Lady Unchained? That's my name now. That's my name. So that's how I got the name.
I mean, it's such a good name. I don't understand how it's not been. Is it been used before?
Nah, I don't think so.
No.
How wicked is that?
I think there might be one Lady Unchained, but like
No, this is the Lady Unchained.
just so she knows, like she might as well just change the name in it. Like I ain't seen her post nothing on Twitter, so
say no
I'm
more.
just saying. But yeah,
No, but
I am the Lady Unchained.
That's what I'm talking about. So the name's given to you after like on the outside after prison.
Yeah.
But am I right in guessing that Lady Unchained came together in prison?
Yeah. I think like what I say is that, Lady Unchained is the woman that made it through the prison sentence. She's the one that got me through picking up that pen and starting to write those emotions out, those thoughts, the anger that you feel when you're behind the door, the loneliness. So Lady Unchained, she was formed from my prison sentence, but I just didn't know her. I didn't know that she was the one carrying me. I didn't know that she was the one wiping my tears when I was down. I didn't know she was there until I got out. And now I'm like, Lady Unchained, but also there's that other side of me that still remembers that I went to jail, and she's still a little bit like, oh my God, I went to jail. But Lady Unchained's like, no, man, you went to jail, get over that, man. You're doing big things. Like, so she's the, like, the old ego, like the one that just keeps me going.
So, the passion for poetry, did that come from being inside?
Yeah.
Was that
100%?
So that you didn't do poetry before?
No, but what's crazy is I've been looking back into my life a little bit and going back when I was like doing church, like going to church every Sunday, and I started like teaching Sunday school and writing little gospel songs for the children to perform because I was young, they're young, we're bored. I was bored in service. So I found a way to like get myself out of it and get the children out of it by creating like some gospel songs that they would then perform in church. So that was that. But then that was like when I was like, before I hit 14. So after that age, there was no writing. Like, you know, phones got serious. You know, you got text messages, you got £5 T-Mobile vouchers, like, you know, like, buy one, get one free. You got everything, 5-day pass, you got all of them things. So who needs to pick up a pen? So prison was the place where that poetic voice basically was born. It's crazy.
Where do you think that came from? Like, what made you kind of just start picking up the pen and writing? I don't know, because like people deal with their prison sentence very differently, don't they? And the fact that you found that is, I don't know, where did it come from?
Well, if I'm honest, like when I went to jail, before I went to jail, I used to wear weave. I used to wear curly weave, straight weave, afro weave, like weave down to my back, weave to like bob, like short weave. I looked like a yardie at one point. Like I had every single wig that you can possibly get. That was me. I was on it. But when I got to jail, the lady took my wig off my head top. Like she felt it and then said, is it sewed in or glued in? And I was so confused how she even knew that. But I was so scared that I could get in more trouble for lying later on that I just said, yeah, it's clipped in. And she took it. And she took it from me. So I remember feeling, like, is this allowed? Like, but you're an inmate, you can't do nothing. So now you're looking like a mad woman with like cane rows and a little bit of hair just hanging out for dear life, wondering where it should be sitting. And then there's the situation of like, you know, when you get to jail, they give you this form about your meals. Now, if you've never been to jail like me, I'm like, you get to pick what you eat. This is not too bad. Like, it's all right, I guess. You know, breakfast, they say like breakfast, dinner, like all of these things. Anyway, I picked what I wanted and then I had to go and get meds. So I was late in the line. But when I got to the line, the girl was like, your food's gone. And I said, what does that mean? My food is gone. Where's it gone? You get it? Where? And she said, it's finished. I said, that doesn't make no sense. Like now I'm getting angry because I'm like, so hold on. You don't make me fill out a form. I even sat there and thought about it, you know, like I decided which one I was going to get, like afters and all this thing, and you're telling me it's finished. What was the point of that? Isn't that for the numbers? Now, I'm talking to her. She looks confused, but the officer's clocked me and she's gone, I can write you up for that. And I said, what do you mean write me up? I don't understand. She was like, I can give you red pen in your file. I said, I don't even know what red pen is. Like, I'm just saying the food is not there. What do I eat? She was like, eat whatever's given to you. This is not a hotel. And now the word hotel to me, I know what a hotel looks like, you know. So now when she said that to me, I said like, okay, but you know, if I went to a hotel and I paid money and you brought me here, I would sue you.
Yeah.
Written up. Now, all of those things, I was like sitting down in my cell going, they wrote red pen, they put red pen in my file. What's red pen? Red pen, I'm in trouble. Hotel, does this look like a hotel? Like I'm in just writing these things out because after that, I realized anything I do, say, even if I look funny like at the officer, I'm in trouble. And so it made sense for me to just write out all those feelings that I was feeling so that when the officer's talking silly to me, I don't say nothing back. I just look at her, confused and questioning how I'm the one that she's talking to like that. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's when the pen it saved me. I can't lie. It saved me from fights, saved me from the block. It saved me from a lot of things and probably one of the reasons why I got my tagging time.
How long did you serve?
So I got sentenced 2.5 years in prison. I served 11 months inside and 5 months on tag. HDC. Electronic tag for those of you that don't.
Yeah.
You don't know. Yeah. Put on your leg.
That means you was well behaved, as they say.
It's the writing. I'm telling you, it's the writing. It's the writing that got me through because the girl that wanted to beat me for earrings, I remember a situation where like I was talking to my mum on the phone and I hadn't seen her. So obviously now we're beefing in it. So now I need my stuff back. You got things that I borrowed you. I need my stuff back. And if you're beefing me, give me back my things, innit? Like, so obviously I hadn't seen her. So I'm on the phone and then I'm talking to my mum and I see her and I was like, yo, B, like, what you say? Should I come grab them things, yeah? She was like, what? What you say to me? Like, obviously now I'm on the phone to my mum and I'm like, what? What'd you say? Like, it's like my mum's on the phone going, oh, my daughter, please don't fight. My daughter, please don't fight. And I'm like, no, mum, listen, I'll call you back. Because I put the phone down. And I remember walking up to her and she's walking backwards towards her cell. Like, and I remember everyone's getting excited now because it's like, it's possible beef. Yeah. And I'm looking at her, she's looking at me, she's like, come, step into the room if you're bad. And I'm looking at her like, I looked at the light and I looked at her and I was like, this girl done lost her tag already. She lost Vottle. She lost everything. I'm sure there's other thing that she's lost that, like, as a person that was her friend, I got it. Mm-hmm. But I ain't lost them things yet. So now everyone's trying to tell me to fight her. She wants me to fight her. And I remember looking at her and I went, do you know what? Keep the stuff. She was like, what? No, you're shook, man. I was like, keep the stuff. Because for me, obviously, thank God for my family. They sent me CDs. I had a stereo. I had everything I needed. Like, I had CDs upon CDs, Ja Rule, like the whole album, like, you know, everyone wanted to borrow the things. So at the end of the day, you having that, it's whatever. Like, I've got a TV. I never go to the block. Like, I'm good. Like, if you want to like act like a bad girl right now, cool. But the funny thing is, that girl, on the day that I was coming back from weekend release, she was being released and I found her at the gate and she gave me, like, she was trying to give my stuff back. And I said, no, it's calm. I was going to give you those things anyway, but you started acting funny. And she was like, no, I'm sorry. You know how it is in there. Like, obviously the women. And I'm like, you don't have to prove nothing to nobody in here because no one don't know you. Get it? So prison is that place where little things get you into a situation, but then also like you try to act a certain way because you want people to think that you're badder. You want people to think that, you know, you fight. Like, I'm in for fighting. I don't need to prove nothing. The judge clearly knows I fought because he sent me to jail. I don't need to prove it to you guys, you know? So it's crazy.
Do you think if you had gone in at a different age, younger, you would have reacted to these things differently?
100%.
Yeah.
If I'd gone to young offenders for fighting, I would probably still be in jail because young offenders is a war zone. And people need to understand that, like, you know, when you're sending these young kids to jail, like for fighting or violence or whatever it is, you're sending them to a war zone. You're sending them to where everyone thinks that they are fighter, they're in the army. Their brain is like tuned different.
It's a really difficult environment.
Do you understand? Like, I've met people in young offenders. That, right? Like, it's just, this is what I'm saying. Like, even like hearing certain man's stories and like Feltham, all those prisons, it's like the changes of like young offenders to adult jail is very different. And I think for me it would have been crazy.
It's a big change. I think that people are more mature in the adult prisons, and obviously a lot of people like got more to lose. Mm-hmm. So there's a bit more of a thought process. Whereas when you're YO, it's just like, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Anything is anything,
Lady Unchained. So I recently hosted your book launch for National Prison Radio. Can you please just tell us about your book?
Oh my God. I've just realized that I ain't got my book in my hand, but I do have it with me, just so you know. I might do grab that. But like, basically, the book launch was done with National Prison Radio and Second Home, and you hosted it. It was absolutely amazing.
It was great.
It was absolutely amazing. And we had two amazing women performing. But yeah, the book is basically it's a journey. It takes the reader on a poetic journey about my life before prison, like basically being on bail, being in prison, and life after. And it just takes you through that journey in a poetic way, using different poems to kind of outline each version of that story.
So going back to you having to create more poems and putting yourself back into the place of being inside, like, how does that feel? And is that what you still do? Or
it's weird.
Do you write about after prison now?
Yeah, like some of the poems, so the book goes from sentencing, life in prison, and life after prison. Mm-hmm. So there's poems that I talk about after prison and stuff. But to be honest, it was weird because I'm doing a lot. So to go back into that mind, that brain of the 21-year-old me, it was emotional because it took me to a place where I used to question everything. And when I say I still question everything now, but I mean, I used to question myself, my truth, my worth. And writing in that kind of mindset was a bit harder because I know my worth now. So it took me kind of like, it's weird because I live in a block. The block is a bit crazy. So some of the things that I hear kind of remind me of prison anyway, like sometimes. So then it gets me angry and it gets me to that point of lowness, and then I can think about that. But what was interesting was there's another poem. I think there's about 3 poems in a book that I wrote outside of my home. I went to Windsor. Shout out Sound Delivery. They took me away with the one of the groups that they were working with, the network, Spokesperson Network. And they said, you don't have to do the workshops. We know you've got some poems to write. Just sit outside. I'm talking Windsor. It's like sitting like outside a castle, basically, like greenery everywhere. And I sat under this tree in the sun. And they went and done their workshops. They come back, I'd finished. I wrote all the poems.
Wow.
Just because of the change of scenery. Because what was happening was that even though I was reflecting on that lowness, I was looking at the view that I was seeing right now. And I'm like, yeah, you couldn't see this view from jail. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's like, it was easier to write those ones because it was easier to reflect on the sad times because I could directly see the good times. Whereas when I'm in the block, it's like, it's a conflict because you're hearing like some crazy person out there shouting something that they shouldn't be shouting. You're hearing my dogs barking. The birds outside are doing the madness. The foxes are going crazy. Like there's all these weird sounds that make you think, why am I here? What's this like? And then you kind of start to think that you're in prison in another form, if that makes sense. But yeah, it was hard.
Do you have any favorite poems?
Ooh.
Oh my God. Do you know what? I don't even know if I have a favorite poem. Like when I first wrote the book, I was thinking, oh my God, this is my favorite. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. I really love this one. And then I read it. I was like, oh my God, no, this is my favorite. Oh my God, this is the one. Oh my God. I would probably get excited and I would read it to like my best friend, Joe. Shout out Joe. And he's like, oh no, this is my favorite one. No, this is my favorite. And then I'll read him another one. He's like, oh no, I don't know. I don't know. And he's like, I don't know if I actually have a favorite one, but I did have one that I wanted to read today if we get the book. But it's funny because there's something about me that I think even National Prison Radio picked up when they first met me at Broadcasting House that I laugh at a lot of things that sometimes people shouldn't be laughing at.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So I kind of like do that in my poetry as well. Like I talk about things that I know are quite dark, but really to me now it's funny because I know I came from that place and I've overcome it. So this poem is like, it talks about like being out of prison and that stress that you feel when you're on tag and you're trying to get home, making sure that you're not late. Because for me, being on tag, it's funny because in jail I was like, yeah, when I come off tag, I'm just like, when I come out and I've got tag, I don't care. It's gonna be summer. I'm gonna wear my skirts, put some diamantes on the tag. It's gonna what?
Oh my God, you got too much time inside.
Like literally, you got too much time. You got too much time. Like because you make the cards and stuff. I mean, all them decorations and stuff in jail that you learn to do. I'm like, yeah, the tag's gonna be lit. Like, but then when I got out, the reality of it was like, yo, I don't want no one to know I'm on tag. Like it was like I wore boots forever. Like I remember people going, are you not hot? Why are you watching myself?
Yeah, why are you watching the boots for?
What's going on? Like, do you want my boots? Do you want my boots? But really, I was scared to like, do you know, like, I was scared, like, I was scared and like, even trying to explain to like, oh no, like, this might as well say it, like, trying to date on tag is a madness. Because how do you date somebody?
What was your curfew time?
Well, there's
7.
no hiding,
okay.
is there?
Yeah, I can't go to dinner. Dinner's like, we meet at 7, innit? Like, I can't meet you at 7. Like, I could do lunch. You get it? And I remember actually saying that to somebody and I was like, I can do lunch. And they're like, what? But I want to take you for dinner. And I was like, yeah, but see how my thing is set up, basically, I can't really be outside at 7. And they didn't understand it. And it took me about
They're like, right, I'm coming over. I'm joking.
Yeah. I'm like, no, you can't come here because then you're going to see my tag.
I'm
like,
going to see
it?
the tag box.
Yeah.
And unless you're open and honest, it's hard. It is really, really hard. And both things at those time, like at that stage, can be hard. Like
And also, I didn't want to be attracting roadman because they see me on tag. They'll be like, "Oh, swear, B, you're about that life, yeah? What you say? What you want to like? You want to like? No,
stay away, man.
No. Stay. I'm meeting a church boy. Like, I need somebody like, let's do religion. Like, let's do that because it's not working out.
What was your perception of prison before you went in?
Oh my days! I think I even said it in Road to Victory that, you know, you watch TV in it, so you just know about like, you know, man them don't drop the soap, you know, the girls that might get like certain things, like lesbians might get with them, like, and obviously this is me not knowing things because lesbians have tastes. It's not me that you like, you know that. You're like, oh, the lesbians are gonna move to me. Calm down, like, you're not everyone's taste. You know what I mean? Like, but at that time, do you know what? Like, it's crazy. It's like, and obviously, I would honestly say I didn't have no lesbian or gay friends back then. Like, so for me, it was like, yeah, the film say the lesbians are gonna move to you, you know, like, oh, you better like make sure you're tough. Like, so I had this plan that I'm gonna cane roll my hair, gonna look like man them, like whatever. If anything, I get the girl, innit? Like, I'm the man. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'll be the man, she'd be my girl. Like, that mentality ain't even like that. He has to have something that I like. Same as like if you like a certain girl, they have to have something that you like. You can't just be, anyway, those kind of things. And yeah, that's how I feel about Job. Obviously, it's not like that, people. So don't believe all the films.
So how did it feel actually being convicted? So that feeling that, okay, I'm going to be in jail now.
You see when the judge said like 2.5, yeah? I'm not going to lie. I remember, it was weird because being in court, I was with my best friend and my sister, and we was there from morning. And then something happened with a case before me, and it just kept getting pushed. We kept getting pushed. Oh, come after lunch. Come back after lunch. So we was there the whole day, really, in the courtroom. And so when we finally got to go to get sentenced, I was like my sister and my best friend were in a gallery, but the gallery was above me. So I couldn't see them after the point where we separated. And I could hear the judge talking, but it was a very, like, I think I even say it in the poem again, it's like, it was very blurred. Like, the judge is talking, but I really don't understand what he's saying. I know my two little sisters had written letters. I had letters from like my mum's neighbours, somebody that I went to school with, one of the teachers. I had like all these letters, and I know that they were being read. I can remember that, but I can't remember the words that were being said until the judge said 2.5, take her away. That's when everything was like, oh, like take me away, as in to prison. And I remember the lady, you know, the woman that sits to come and get you, she just opened the door. She was like, come on, love, like, and I'm just thinking, where, like, come on, love, where, like, and it doesn't hit you, but then when you go down them stairs, yeah, it's so cold. It's like, why is it all of a sudden so cold? Like, I don't know, but it hit me, the cold hit me like a slap in the face. And I was like, raw, like, is this the route to jail? Like, is the jail just underneath the courtroom? Like, I was getting so stressed out. I was like, okay, but something that happened was that I just couldn't control the tears. The tears were like, it was like a waterfall. Like, literally just, it was not stopping. And I think in one of the poems I say, the tears is how I say thank, like, that's how I show my emotions. And when I stop crying, that's how I show thank you, like, thank you, because I've stopped crying. And she took me in. And she did put me in a separate cell, like it wasn't a metal door, it was like bars, so I can see everyone passing me. But I think up until the moment that the solicitor came down to the cells, I didn't believe it was real. I just thought they just made a mistake, and like, someone's gonna come, be like, okay, have you learned your lesson now?
Did your perception of prison change from, you know, what you thought it was gonna be?
I think if anything, yeah. It was probably like, what I thought it was going to be in my head was worse, like it was bad. But what was actually there was probably worse, because no one moved to me, like, all right, ladies, well gone. But like, it's the fact that for me, prison is a place where bad people go. And I didn't see myself as a bad person. But then I was so afraid that the other women were bad people. Do you understand? Like, to me, I was like, I'm not a bad person. Like, these people must be criminals, you know? But then slowly I started to realize each woman had a different story. Each woman had a story that made me question if they should even be there, you know? And I started to realize that the system's messed up, you know? Even finding out that the system's racist. Like, I was like, raw, the system's really, really racist. Like, I thought like slavery was over. I've done history. Done told me slavery's finished, but I'm looking around and I'm seeing black people everywhere, Asian people everywhere, you know, white girl coming up to me saying, bro, like, that's what you're in jail for. And then she starts busting up. I'm like, why are you busting up? Like, now I'm like, I'm a newbie in jail. Like, is this girl laughing at me? Do I have to punch her in the face to show that, like, I'm a bad girl? Like, is that how you, because, you know, in the films, you have to beat up the bad girl. Like, so I'm like, they're confused. And then she's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to laugh at you. You know, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the situation, and the justice system's crazy. And I was like, why? She said, I've done that like 3 times, you know? I was like, what? Said, I've beat up bare people. Like, if you attack my family, I'm beating you up. I can leave here today and I'll beat up somebody. If they attack my family, I'll come back here. But I ain't never been done for that. And I was like, so why are you here? Other stuff, babes. And I'm like, huh? So you've done what I have done 3 times. This is the first time I've ever done this. Done that 3 times. Then you committed another crime. And you're not even in jail for those 3 times. You're in jail for something else. So do you know that you're telling me the system's racist? But I couldn't say the words because the 21-year-old me, the little girl that still had some dreams or believed that the world that she lived in and the country she lived in was great, I didn't want to believe that. I didn't want to believe that that was real. Especially not with how much I grew up. And whoever hears this might think she's crazy, but I grew up in the UK. So I grew up not liking Africa. And that's not even a lie. Like I grew up watching Africa on certain things and kids with big bellies and flies everywhere. And like, I didn't want to be there. Like I grew up, that's what I saw of Africa. Like I know different now. Like I know Africa's beautiful. I know Africa's rich, you know, but at the time as a little 3-4-year-old growing up here, so you see, Africa's in poverty. Africa's got diseases. I remember even saying to my mum, like, raw, like, thank you. That we talk about. Thank you for not letting me look like that little kid on the telly. She was like, you won't look like the little kid on the telly. We're okay. I'm like, all right. Do you get it? I thought she, all right, of course you're going to say that. Do you get what I mean? But I grew up not really comfortable. Like everyone knew I was African. I knew I was African. But if you ask me where I'm from, I'll be like, I'm from South. Like, do you get what I mean? It's only now after jail that if you ask me where I'm from, I'm like, Uganda. They're like, no, like what area? Oh, South London, still South.
So how did you then start with NPR then, with National Prison Radio?
When I got out of jail, I used to volunteer with young people. And one of my friends, I'm just going to shout out everybody, shout out Jeremy. Jeremy introduced me. I used to do writing workshops, but I used to volunteer with like young people. So would like do little activities and stuff. And Jeremy, at this point, he was a guy that also worked for this charity, but I was volunteering. And so what he would do is that he would sit me down and say, okay, what do you want to do with Unchained? Let's sit down. So in his lunch break, he would sit down with me and we'll go through what I want to do. And then one day he had a workshop he was doing with like, I think it's like 5 to 10-year-olds. And it was a poetry writing workshop. And he was like, you have to come in today. I know you're not scheduled to come in, but you have to come in today because Joel Taylor's coming in. And I was like, okay, what do you want me to do? He was like, you need to come and do the workshop because you're a poet and you need to meet her. I was like, okay. So I came in, done the workshop, got introduced to Joel Taylor. And at the end of the session, she was like, so where do you perform? I was like, nowhere. She was like, you have to perform somewhere. I was like, I don't have fans. No one knows me, you know? And she went, okay, maybe contact National Prison Radio. And I went, who are they? She went, huh? Have you been to prison? And I went, I promise you I've been to jail. Like I had to tag and everything, like I swear to you. So she was like, okay, look, chase up National Prison Radio, and she gave me an email address. And that's literally, I reached out to them. But at this time, I had reached out to so many different people that, you know, when you come out of jail, you slowly start to get used to no.
Yeah.
Like no becomes a common thing. Like sometimes I will not even wait. Like, I'll just hang up because I know you're going to say something. But National Prison Radio didn't say no to me. They said yes. And they kept saying yes. And then I met Arthur. And Arthur just, everything he's doing, do you want to do the show? Do you want to do the show? Do you want to do the show? Do you want to do it? And I remember actually saying to Arthur, like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do all of this stuff. Like,
big up Arthur.
I'm not, like, literally, he has taught me so much, even just with taking a break when you're talking in like you're on your show or in like just like he doesn't realize it, big up him, but he doesn't realize it. But he, with the radio stuff he teaches me, it also goes into my performance. So
definitely,
yeah, it's just an all round thing.
That guidance, you know, when you needed it as well.
Yeah, I mean now I can even be like on the radio with people and be like, okay, yeah, you do this line, yeah, you do that. Okay, hold on a minute. No, can you just do that line again? Like,
okay,
do you know what I mean? Like I'm at that point, and also like, you know, learning things like if I'm on radio with my headphones, I can't wear big earrings because it's just like, so I'm pretty sure somebody in the background over there is hearing that in the background. But yeah, I've learned so much from him, and that's just because National Prison Radio is the organization that doesn't really, when they took lived experience and they dig deep. So to recruit and work with people with lived experience, you've got to realize and understand that there's going to be a week where they might not be okay. Do you understand?
Yeah.
They might need extra support.
Yeah.
And National Prison Radio know that. So there's been situations where I've been in and I've just called Arthur and said, I can't do the show. I can't do it. I can't. And he's like, don't worry about it. We're still going to get you paid. Don't worry. Just
They
be
definitely,
okay.
they definitely
Do you know what I mean?
understand.
Yeah, like, and I think it's helped me be more confident in what I'm doing because I don't feel afraid to say, hey, I'm not feeling well today, or I actually can't do it, or I've got another interview. Can I do this one? Like, I just feel confident, and it's because of who they are. You know?
Tell us about your show.
Yeah, you're working on
NPR,
a new show.
Oh my God, we're working on a new show, Large Up Arthur again, because obviously we like to do a lot of secret things. Like,
So this is with National Prison Radio.
it's with National Prison Radio, but like, you know, it's just sometimes me and Arthur, we have loads of ideas, you see. So like, we work very well together. Like, he will say, should we do this? I'll say, oh, that would be sick. Okay, cool. And then we kind of don't get it approved, and then just start doing stuff. And Arthur's doing so many things. Anyway. We've started doing a podcast, and what we're trying to do with this podcast is going to be called Unchained.
Mm-hmm.
Unchained podcast, but all about creativity and how creativity's helped each guest build their journey. So where did they find creativity? Did they find it in jail? Were they already doing it before jail? How has it helped them get to the place that they are today in the work that they're doing? So obviously it will be about bars, creativity, like rap, poetry, but also kind of really trying to highlight what happens or how you can use your creativity after prison. Because we know in jail, talent is just endless.
Yeah. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
This is so cool. This is such a good idea.
Right? Because I mean, you guys are doing the sit down, we're giving them the advice, we're letting them know where to get the advice. And now we're showing them other creatives that are also doing amazing stuff. And then they can find other advice on how to get creative opportunities.
And that's going to reach, you know, not just people that have been inside or leaving or whatever, you know, it's you know, it's to everyone. It's everyone. It's creativity. Okay, when are we due to hear it?
So this year, it's going to be coming out. So sometime this year, you will be seeing a lot more of that. I'm very excited. You know, it's a fresh year.
So very soon come.
Very soon. Don't sleep on us, man.
Looking
coming
forward
for you.
to it. I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
it.
me too.
So Lady Unchained, you know, you've got quite a remarkable journey. Quite a great story as
Thank
well,
you.
by the way. In my opinion anyway.
Thank you,
know.
thank you.
And
I hope that counts for something.
It does.
And it seems like you've been doing a lot. So what else have you been up to since coming out of prison? What else have you been doing?
Okay, so it's really weird actually, because I remember like being on like, you know, job seekers at the time, and applying for jobs and not getting them, even though at the time I was volunteering, so I was kind of overqualified for a lot of the things I was applying for. But I remember a time when I was like, when am I ever going to get a job? Like, when am I actually going to get a job and be happy in a job? And also, when am I going to get a job, be happy in it, and get paid the right money?
Yeah.
You know, so there's all these things, and obviously everyone has those issues, not just people that's come from jail. But, you know, when you've come from jail and you've got a conviction under your belt, it's a lot harder because you have to do the whole declaring it to HR. You have to do this, then you have to go to an interview, and then you have to talk about it.
Yeah.
And if you're not mentally or emotionally ready, you will go to that interview and you will tell your story and start crying. So for me, it's absolutely amazing to know that I actually, and this is going to sound big-headed, but like, I'm very proud to say this, I don't actually apply for jobs. And that's crazy for someone that's been in jail, like for violence. I don't apply for jobs. I open my laptop and there's jobs there. You know, I open my laptop and someone will be like, hey, can you do this? Hey, Lady Unchained, can you do this? It's incredible. And for me now to know that I can go into prison, so I do different work. Like I go into jails and I do creative writing workshops. And that is for me to, I don't tell them that it's therapeutic until they are in it, because as soon as people hear therapy, they're not really on it straight away. You get it? So you have to get them into the mood of, let's just write some bars. Write some bars, yeah. Yeah. But write some deep bars, not just like, I'm from like the ends where I carried the like none of that stuff. Like, let's just get deep, you know? So I go into, shout out HMP Cookenwood. I've got like a group of young boys I've been working there with, you know, Aylesbury, done Pentonville, Downview. I've done a couple of jails still. What's the other one? Feltham, Large Up, Feltham and that. So I'll go in and I do creative writing workshops. In Cookenwood, I'm basically like, not for the prison, but for Theatre 31, who I've worked with for this project. I'm basically the artistic director for that project. So I plan, you know, our sessions, and I plan like if we're going to have a guest, who's going to come in. And obviously I've got Unchained Nights, which Unchained Nights, listen people, just be ready for like this year, because this year is going to be crazy. Unchained Nights, thank you. Unchained Nights is an artistic platform that I created, and it's for artists with lived experience of the criminal justice system. So we showcase all the amazing talent that comes out of the prison system. So, I realized that because of what I was saying earlier in regards to not having a creative platform after jail, Unchained Nights is that creative platform. So if you are coming out of jail and you want to be creative, you've probably heard me on the radio already going, hey, you can't swear on that, like, don't glorify a crime. And da-da-da. So you're not going to come to Unchained Nights and do craziness. You're going to come knowing already what's expected of you.
Yeah,
so you're
set
going
the standard.
Do you understand? So you're going to come and perform in the way that you want to perform. And it's not that I'm trying to tell them to hide their story. Accept your story and tell it to somebody that has only heard your story through media, has only heard your story through reading an article. What would you say? How would you tell your story? So that's what I do. So Unchained Nights is going to be taken off this year. And what I want to do from that is create not only like performance element of it, like, oh, just the people that are performing. I want people that's doing the sound to be people with lived experience. I want the photographer to be have lived experience. I want the person to be managing the lights to have lived experience. The person at the box office to be lived experience. All of these other creative like positions should be available to them. And that's what we want to build with Unchained Nights this year, so that we'll open it up to those people. But another thing that I really want to incorporate in that is youth offending service, children from the POO, like, those kids that are the challenging ones, hard to reach kind of ones. I want to create a night that celebrates them as well, to not just give it to just my people that is coming out of jail, but also for these young people who ideally are already on the route to prison, to divert them a little bit. Because if we can divert them before they get to jail, like, yes, I have fun going into prisons and working with people. It's sad because I know that they're there and I know the feelings that they're feeling while they're there, and I know I have to leave them. But what if I could reach these young people before they get to prison, before they're sentenced, before they start to think, actually, my life is going to end here. That is the plan. And the plan is to make sure that, I've got a couple things I'm meant to be doing already that's in the diary, booked in. Please don't cancel on us. But I'm trying to open that door so that we can highlight not only those that are in prison, but also those that are in the community that need the support and stuff. And also, just in case you don't know, last year I won the best documentary.
Tell us about the documentary.
Oh my God. That documentary, I can't lie to you guys. Once it's available so you can watch it, please watch it. I've watched it so many times and I cry every single time. Not because it's sad, but again, it goes back to seeing the journey. Like, in part of it, I talk about being, feeling very low and feeling near enough suicidal to a point, and to hear that back, to think that I could have ended everything because of a sentence that is the same sentence that is why I do what I do today and I'm alive. Does that make sense?
That's nuts. That's
massive,
like a beautiful,
massive achievement.
It's crazy.
Seriously. And that kind of powerful statement you just made there, like, you've been through it and you felt that, and that hopefully that helps a lot of other people. Do you know what I mean?
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's powerful. What I was going to ask you, why is it so important for you to share your story with the world and, to get it out there?
Okay, so obviously this podcast, this series, Life After Prison, that has been my hashtag forever, like hashtag Life After Prison, because I think people have started to, before what I was doing, I saw Life After Prison as like a joke because I was lost. I didn't know where to go. I was trying to get help, but like help wasn't there. If I'm honest, like anyone that's listening is probably going to think, oh, but she's all right. She got out, she's built this life. No, I got out and I was back in court within 2 years, back on tag. 2 years after that, I was back in court again. And this is all coming from, I would get very close to opportunities that I wanted, like working with young people or working in residential. All these things would happen. I'll get very close to it, like I can just about taste it. And then they would deny it. They'll be like, oh no, you didn't get it. And every time that would happen, and I would end up going out, drinking, sitting around the wrong people that I knew that I had put in my head already, I shouldn't be around these people. Like I knew it. I knew I shouldn't be around them. But in that moment, I was low. Misery likes company, innit? So I would always join people that I knew I shouldn't be around. And I would be the one that ends up behind a cell. And so it's taken me a long time to be able to say that I am this person. I'm the person that you can say is doing amazing work and is doing that, but it hasn't just been me waking up, contacting National Prison Radio and then a smooth journey. When I reached out to National Prison Radio after that big opportunity, I was so grateful. But then I was also waiting for other opportunities and that opportunity didn't come and I ended up in a courtroom. You know, I missed my mum's wedding because I was on tag and didn't know how to tell her that I had once again been in a situation. And that's crazy for me to say that because before prison, I was the girl that had not even one bit of trouble, not even a caution to her name. And so for them to go to jail, come out, and then be back in front of a judge 3 times, I started to believe that when you're in jail and they tell you you're always going to come back, I started to understand why they say that to you. And back in jail, when I saw those people come back, I thought they were idiots. I'm not going to lie. I used to say, you lot are taking a piss. All I want to do is get out there and you lot keep coming back in it. What's wrong with you? And they would laugh. They're like, oh, you don't understand. You know, someone would be like, oh, just need the break, you know. But I used to look down on them. So my whole journey is like trying to prove that there's life after prison. But not only that, I tell the story so that I can change the narrative. Because everyone knows an ex-offender. Because they put them on the news. They put us on the news all the time. Look at what they've done. Look at what they've done again. Look at what they've done. Look at what they've done again. And I remember watching the news, you know, while on tag, being so angry that every single time I look at the news, they're talking about ex-offenders are doing this. Ex-offenders love jail. Ex-offenders. And I was like, but, you know, I remember looking at the TV one day, and like, this is before when my TV was still in the wall, and I'm like, but I'm an ex-offender. I don't want to go back to jail. And I'm like in my house screaming this. And when I started telling the story of my own journey and seeing the change in how people saw me, or even the fact that they were like, oh my God, you've been to jail? I wouldn't think you've been to jail. And I'm like, oh, there's many of us, you know, we all look like you. Like, because what does an ex-offender look like? Exactly. So I had to change the narrative. And by sharing my story, somebody that has never met someone that's been to jail or saw an ex-offender in a different light now can say, actually, hold on a minute. I know that Lady Unchained, you know, she's all right, isn't she?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It just takes one. And then all of a sudden they can be like, well, actually, I've just met Zach and he's an ex-offender, but he also knows Lady Unchained. He's doing kind of similar things and he's doing this. Do you know what? Let's give him an opportunity, because maybe if we give him an opportunity, then he might grow. Because if they don't have anyone to look at, they think, what am I offering to this person? You know, I've worked in a betting shop. Do you know how many times I count in my till? I count in my till over, even if it was 1p, because I got the job with them knowing I was an ex-offender. I went in for fighting. Somebody else might be like, either way, she's a criminal.
I hear you.
Do you get what I'm saying? So I ain't trying to lose money. And I would always check. And I remember my manager saying to me, what are you doing? I'm like, I've lost £1. What should I do? Shall I give you £1? And he's like, calm down, it's £1. I'm like, no, because see, last week I lost £1.50. Now you're not going to start thinking I'm stealing. But that was the mentality in me that as an ex-offender, you're looked at different. So I had to change the narrative. I had to change it, because otherwise people are going to come out and there's no before and after. And I always say that to people. I am the before and after. I'm you after the sentence. You can do this. It's not just me doing this work. You can do it. Become who you want to be. How are you going to use the ex-offender label for your benefit? Yeah. Because the ex-offender label is there to belittle someone, to make them feel like they're less than, to make you feel that you don't deserve a second chance because you're ex-offender, that title. So how do you take that title and show people, yeah, guess what? I'm an ex-offender, but I'm also an author, award-winning broadcaster. I've made a documentary. You know, these things don't come up when you see ex-offender. You just think, oh, they're going back to jail, because that's what they make you believe. So everything I do is to just change that narrative of what we look like, what we sound like. You know, a lot of people forget that I've been to prison where I was nearly deported, and people have to teach them that in the UK, we have foreign national jails that put you in there and threaten you with deportation. Most of the times when I say I went to a foreign national jail, people would say, they sent you to another country? And I'm like, no, here. But it did feel like another country because it's all the way in Lincolnshire. So to me, from South, it's not for me. So you have to tell these stories so that even somebody that lives in Lincolnshire, that lives next to that prison, can go, wait a minute, that's what they do to people in that place. I didn't know that. And I've had that response. I've had that response of people that live near that prison that didn't know. that somebody like me that sounds like them is in that place or was in that place going through hunger strike just to prove that they're worth staying in the country. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have to do that because if I don't do it, nobody else is going to do it. And I think that was the main thought of what I do. Like, I got tired of, I think it was on one of my pages, I got tired of waiting for change, so I became the change. Because change ain't going to come otherwise.
One more time for me.
I got tired of waiting for change, so I became the change.
Love that.
Okay. So what would you say to the Lady Unchained who's just been released from prison? What advice would you give to her?
Oh my gosh. Like, let me think about what I said to some of the women in HMP style. I would say own that crown. Reclaim it. You've never lost it. When you was in jail, you never lost it. It was never off your head. But because you was in such a dark place, you felt like you weren't wearing it no more, but you've always been wearing it.
Oh.
And the next thing also is that to remember that, you know, when you're in that dark tunnel and you can't see light and you're looking for the light, like, you know, for example, if your electric goes off and you're there, like you can't see, you're trying to look for the light. No. Don't look for the light. You are the light. So when you're in the dark, you are the light. Just make that light shine brighter and trust and believe you'll find your way. So don't be waiting for someone to shine a torch and go, hello, are you safe down there? No. Don't wait for no one to come save you because unfortunately, no one's going to save you. You have to do that. And behind every yes, behind every no, you will find a yes. So just keep your head up and reclaim your crown.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Love that advice.
Powerful.
Very powerful. Apart from National Prison Radio, you've mentioned them obviously earlier. Are there any other organisations that helped you since you've been released from prison? Yeah, so Arts Admin, shout out Arts Admin. That's where I've been hosting Unchained Nights for the last 5 years. Sound Delivery Media, big up Jude and Helena and Helen. They have literally, they're the ones that got me on TED Talk. I done an event with them. It was my first performance without my band because I got comfortable with a band and a vocalist. And then I didn't have them no more. And they're like, to be honest, we kind of heard your stuff and we just want your words. Just you're enough. And to hear that as well, you need it sometimes. You're enough. Just you. Those words are great.
I'd done that. They were like, cool, this lady wants to talk to you. Done a TED Talk. You know, like, you know, there's so many people that I would honestly say have really, really helped me in the journey. You know, I'm now co-chair for National Criminal Justice Arts Alliance.
Ooh.
I think I'm pretty sure I am the first co-chair with lived experience of the criminal justice system. Bearing in mind, they work with people in the justice system. I'm the first.
Well done.
And I'm the first Black woman as well to do this. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing that out there. But there's quite a few organisations that I've worked with that have really supported me, and not just supporting me when I'm working with them, supporting me even when I'm not working with them. So if I do something for National Prison Radio, I know Sound Delivery will repost it or Arts Admin will repost it. You know, like everyone that I've worked with has somehow helped me grow in one way or another. And it's really funny because back in the days, I wouldn't really reach out to certain people because I'd be like, oh no, but I'm not good enough. I'm not there yet. But actually, when will you be there? You won't be there. You won't know you're there until you're in it and you're trying to do it. And then you fail and then think, oh, that was bad. Okay, how do I make it better? Same with my performances. I never used to watch myself back. Even this, I'm thinking, okay, it's going to take me a while. Sit there like, like somebody else will put it on and I'll be like, great, you watched that on your own. I'm just going to go home, you know. But I think it's been a journey and I've had so many different, and if I didn't shout anybody out, I just want to say sorry because there's quite a few people.
Thank you for sharing those. And it's, I believe it's really important for, you know, people to be able to hear that there are people out there that want to help and that can help.
Yeah, 100%.
We've also got some other organisations that can help you if you've just been released from prison. So Advance, they offer support to women experiencing different kinds of issues. Arcbound Foundation, they work with people from disadvantaged backgrounds to provide writing and publishing services. And also Women in Prison, this is a charity. They support women affected by the criminal justice system, and they really dedicate their time to make a difference to women's lives. So hopefully those organisations can help you if you need and want to reach out. Also, don't forget to check out our other podcast, which is Getting Out. And if you're wondering where to start, then check out the confidence episode because it actually features Lady Unchained and she talks about how to find the power through the pen.
I want to big up everyone that's got in touch with us and shared a message with us. We really appreciate all the love that you shared with us. And I wanted to read this email that we got from someone where they said, I know from experience the brokenness of the criminal justice system, what it does, and I really want to wish you all the best of success. So thank you for that email.
Yeah, a massive thank you for sending that in. We get it, like that. It's not easy, and you know things are tough. So
and Lady Unchained touched on it as well about
so appreciate the writing in. We want people to write in. So thanks.
100%. If you want to get in touch with us, please do. You can do this by DMing us on Instagram and Twitter at AfterPrisonPod. Or if you prefer, you can write to us at National Prison Radio, Life After Prison, HMP Brixton, London SW25XF. Or if you prefer to send an email, you can email us at podcasts@prison.radio. Also, you can check out our website, www.lifeafterprisonpod.com, and you can get in touch with us there and find out more information. So, I want to say thank you for listening. Thank you to our guest, Lady Unchained.
Yes.
Please like, share, and subscribe. Yes. It really helps us.
Yes, please do.
Yes. Get it out there to everyone that needs to see it, and we'll see you next time.